All right, guys, so I'm just going to talk about leading your horse, okay? This could be just helping the guide lead the horse around camp, or when you go catch horses in the morning, it can be helpful. There's a couple little safety things right off the bat, and that's it. You got the lead rope here. You kind of want this, like your active hand of the horse, you kind of want that, you know, just half a wingspan, one of your arm lengths from the horse. So there's a little distance where his head's not hitting you in the dark or whatever. But not a ton where he's going to step over it, right, and cause you an issue, all right? So you have one hand like that. This is where people run into trouble, is they have a bunch of slack, and what they do is they go like this. This is like and they go like that, and they just don't even realize it, and this is super dangerous, guys. You get a couple wraps on a hand like that, if, you know, you're walking the water or something, and, you know, a grizzly bear jumps out of the trees or something like that, and you've got your hand like that, the horse is going to take you for a ride. And, you know, they can drag you a long ways with your hand wrapped in like that. And that's one of the few ways the horse could kill you. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're leading them. Generally, what I do is I won't even keep one coil like that. I wrap my coils like this, okay, so they can easily get pulled out, and I'm not stuck with the horse, all right? And then walking them is pretty simple. People are way too worried about the horse stepping on them. Even my little kids, that's the first thing when I was showing them how to lead horses, they're always worried about the horse stepping on them. Don't worry about that. A horse, like I said, is a self-preservationist, and it's amazing how they will manage to keep those big hooves off of you, okay? So when you're walking them, just go ahead, give them a little distance and just walk. It's not a big deal, okay? And they'll do their thing. And they're, you know, broke horses will follow you. It's not a big deal. If a horse is just kind of, for whatever reason, kind of crowding you, like feels like he's going to step on your heels, the best way to deal with it is just kind of a quick snap like that, okay? Okay, and they kind of know that you know, or you're what they're telling you. And what it is, you're putting a little pressure across their nose band, and they'll react to that, okay? But it's generally not a problem. A lot of times, honestly, like in terrain, when you're walking through terrain, the horse is just going to speed up a little bit because he's just got to deal with that terrain, okay? So honestly, the easiest way for you to deal with it is just speed up yourself and give him a little distance, all right? So that's the basics of leading a horse. All right, guys, so I'm going to show you how to water a horse. What's the old saying? You can walk a horse to water, but you can't force him to drink. And so that's actually kind of true. So keep that in mind. Horses aren't going to drink every time you walk them to water. But most outfitters and guides are going to try to water the horses twice a day. So sometimes that means in the dark too. And it is nice if you can help them, all right? So like I mentioned on leading them, just have a safe protocol with the lead rope. Walk them to the water, and then essentially just give them enough space where they can go for the water. You're going to usually know immediately if they're thirsty or not, because they're going to go for the water or they're going to go for the green grass right on the side. If a horse is going for the green grass, you know, unless he's just been getting starved, he's generally not thirsty. Rarely will they eat the green grass and then start drinking. Usually if they start doing what he's doing, they're just not thirsty, okay? So give them a try. Horses will drink if they need to drink. All right, guys, so I'm going to quickly go over watering your horse when you're on his back. And a lot of times at crossings, that's going to be your opportunity to water the horse. So before you cross, give the horse enough slack. And just like water them on the ground, if they're thirsty, they're going to go for the water. If not, they're going to go for the grass, okay? And so just give them a little slack before you go through the crossing. It's kind of hard to do it on the other side of a crossing. Once you've crossed, a lot of times horses don't want to turn around and drink, okay? So do it before the crossing. And the other thing is, it's just kind of a protocol when you're going through a crossing with a string. Once you've gone through the crossing, you've let your horse drink, you go through the crossing, stop on the other side so you don't create a bunch of distance between you and the other horses. Because when you do that, what'll happen is even if horses behind you are thirsty, they want to catch up to the string, so they'll cross the crossing without drinking. So it's important that just as a protocol, every time you cross, wait and let the horses behind you the time, or allow them the time to get a drink, okay? Rebel's a little camera shy and being a little nervous, but that's the basics of watering your horse on the trail.